One of the great things about having a community that you're connected with in the spiritual space is having so many gifted friends that are just connected. I'm a part of a spiritual tribe that was created by Lindrea Co. If you ever want their information, I follow them. I'll put their handle here below. Highly recommend checking them out. Both very talented healers. They're a duo, and they have created a Cosmic Soul Tribe, is what they call it. And we have some OG members. I'm one of them, and it's been a tight knit group for about I want to say about 6 years now. Most of us are spread out across the country, some outside of the country, going from the East Coast all the way to the West Coast. I'm in Wisconsin, and there's another tribe member that's also in Wisconsin that I've been, friends with for a while, within the group, and we've practiced reading each other before. So she had a message for me this week. Now, what I'm going to share with you and what she shared with me, because she connected with my mother. She is very talented. We have practiced in spiritual circles within our Cosmic Soul Tribe, and she is always on the money. So I trust the information she's bringing forward to me. When she watched the post of me saying goodbye to my mother's house, immediately my mother popped in. I'm telling you, I posted this, and Nancy must have saw it right away. That's her name. Because immediately she's like, I have a message from your mom. Do you want to hear what she has to say? I'm like, what you got, girl? So she proceeds to tell me she was hesitant to reach out to me because she didn't know where I stood with how we landed on things with our relationship. Because when my mom passed, we weren't speaking. This is my mom speaking through my friend. I mean, rightfully so, because I had gone through, it was some dark times I was going through in my healing process with my mother wound. Like, I had cut cords with my spiritual mentor. I had done some really deep inner work to try to figure out why I was in such a deep depression for so many years and how to dig myself out of it, find myself, because I was completely lost. I just took on my mother's energy and her illness as if it was my own. I digress again. I do that. So I said, Mom, I've put that behind me. I did a lot of work. I just want to make sure you're okay. So my friend gets the message. She wants you to put the handkerchief in the lake. I'm seeing a lake. Now, if you saw my last couple story times, I'm in Wisconsin. I live right next to Lake Michigan. I'm also very connected with this lake because I grew up on it within 1 mile's distance for a majority of my life. My mother's house is 3 blocks from the lake. The current house I live in now for the last 15 years is 2 blocks from the lake. And my grandmother's house, my maternal grandmother, her house I lived in for the first 10 years of my life was within walking distance, within 1 mile of the lake. So I'm there in the summertime a lot for most of my life. So again, if you listen to my other story times, you know that my maternal grandmother is from Northern Ireland, grew up on the sea in a coastal town, and when she moved to the States to be with her husband, my grandfather, they lived in their house where they raised their children, and she loved being near the lake. That she was very connected to it. So when my mother passed away, I had a lot of my grandmother's things because my mother had them within her possession. Amongst those things was something I've never seen before. It was a handkerchief, and it had hand embroidery message on it that my grandmother had sewn while she was still living in Northern Ireland, and it said, "To my love from Ireland." So this was something that my grandmother had sent over to the States for my grandpa while she was still living in Ireland, and they were married, but she just couldn't get to the States yet. It took her a year. This was during World War II time. So anyways, she wants me to put this handkerchief in the lake. And I'm like, I am not putting this beautiful hand sewn by my grandmother in the lake. At first I was like, I'm not doing that. I want to keep, like, what a beautiful memory, right? Like, a handkerchief, hand sewn, 1946, during World War II. Like, I have plans for this handkerchief, okay? I mean, I want to make like a shadow box or something, put it in a frame with some of my other memorabilia from my grandmother. So Nancy gives her this message and she's like, okay, you can keep the handkerchief. So then I told her, I'm like, Mom, I am giving you a whole garden for you and your doggies, because my mom was big on dogs. She loved dogs. Like, dogs were her children. Sometimes it seemed like more important than me. I know many of you can relate to that. So Nancy said she could see my mother in her third eye, in her mind's eye, and said she saw her with tears. And when she said that, I connected with my mom visually. This was the first time I've seen her on the other side in my mind's eye. She looked so beautiful, so young, long blonde flowing hair, bright blue sparkling eyes, just very ethereal, very at peace, very just strong Aquarian energy, because she was an Aquarius, but that's the whole energy around her was that, a soft Aquarius, if you can even be soft when you're Aquarius. But it was very just peaceful, and she was stunning. So Nancy asked if there was anything else that I wanted to ask, and I said, no, I'm good. And so my mother told her, I'm listening, I'm around, just call on me, ask. And so that's what I'm going to do. Backstory on this. The day before was when I went to go say goodbye to my mom. This message came through the day I sold my mom's house. That's the day I posted this video. So when I was driving back from my mom's house the day before closing, I was very emotional and I said, Mom, please come through to me. Whatever shape or form that needs to be, please come through to me just so I know you're okay. I said, I don't know if you're still in the healing chambers or if you're in life review still, because her energy was very, very low, And then I called on my dad and my grandma's. I was like, listen, if she's still in life review or wherever she is, make sure you come through to me in your normal signs that I get from you. Dad always comes to me in Bruce Springsteen songs, whatever, or really loud motorcycles because he was a Harley guy. And of course, my mom would pick a friend to come through because she was a very social person about community. When she wasn't depressed, when she was with people, she lit up. She lit up. So I wasn't surprised when she came through from another person to me. When she passed away, I asked her to come through me in wolves because she loved wolves. But like, wolves were her thing. It was her spirit animal. And so I'll wait for those wolves too. But just another sign, talk to them, ask. I need your support. Be with me. Let me know you're okay. And they come through almost always. It may not be on your timetable and what you want. Be patient. They'll come around, and keep your eyes open.